Welcome to the front lines. This is the Premier League on hell let loose, where every match is war, every decision counts, and only the sharpest squads survive. 9 divisions, 57 teams, only on the TPL podcast, produced by Axe Hawk. Real conversations, real perspectives, and the stories that matter. Now, let's welcome your host, Sheepdog.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the TPL podcast. I am Sheepdog, and alongside me as a guest for today is a man that you may know, a man who is well known in the console world of Hell Let Loose. He is one of the 5 gauntlet stones that goes into the Power Fist known as 22nd Fourth ID Stream Team. He is also the master and head honcho behind the TPL power rankings. So anytime that he says that your team is worse than another team, you can blame him for it. It is none other than Awake. Thank you so much for joining me, dude.
Thank you for having me. I did not know I don't know what Infinity Stone I am, but I think I'm Reality, I guess. Reality
Are
Stone.
they labeled? Are they actually named?
Yeah, it's like Reality, the Soul Stone. Like, you know what? Have you ever watched Avengers?
I watched some of it, not all of it. I know there's stones. I know it goes on Thanos' fist. I know that Robert Downey Jr. wears it at some point, and they missed the opportunity to bring in the Black Sabbath Iron Man song, like when he like defeats Thanos. I know that that at the very least, dude.
But thank you for having me. I do appreciate it.
It's my pleasure, dude. I'm so glad to have you on, dude. So glad to have you on. Lots to talk about. Lots of good things. Maybe bad things. Who knows? But lots of interesting. Let's put it that way. Lots of interesting things to talk about.
Oh yeah.
And let's start out with some of the TPL stuff. Obviously, we are in week 2. Leg 2. I don't know how to call it. They keep calling it week 2. This is really like week 4, but we got the
I don't know what's going on.
I call it week 2, leg 2, I guess.
Week 2 of higher division play, I guess. I don't know.
There you go. Lots of interesting things already happening through 3 weeks of play, and let's start out with the really sad news. And I think this is news that both you and me, it kind of breaks our hearts in a way. We've seen already a few teams drop out of this tournament or consolidate during this tournament, but it was announced yesterday that a Div 1 team would be dropping out, and that is 3-5. And I would love to get your initial reaction and thoughts, because this is I think this is a pretty big development for TPL.
Yeah, it really sucks. It's not surprising because, well, for them it is, like, to see them drop out, it is surprising. But it's not surprising to see teams drop out in any sort of league or tournament. Like, you see it on the PC side of things. Like last year in TPL, we had, I think, 3 teams or 2 teams drop out. Summit, usually there's a team that drops out, but this past Summit, luckily no one did drop out until they were eliminated. But it sucks seeing them drop out, because they were one of the longest standing teams up until this. But from what I understand, they will be back. They're just not in a position to compete right now. I think that's just due to, from what I saw, just number standpoint. And if you really do think about it, it is morale as well. From what I know of, because they are in Division 1. They are going against Legion, Taco, Six, EXO, Merc, all teams that have beat them in the past, like especially recently too. Because you saw Taco did 5-0 them in like roughly an hour, I want to say, last week. So even just like having that daunting on them, I can see why they did drop out. They, like, you still want to play the game for fun, but like getting 5-0'd every single week, or potential for 5-0, is just, it's not fun. But overall, it just sucks to see them leave, because they were one of the longest standing teams in all of console.
Yeah. And I think that this is a really important discussion because now we bring into question and talk about like, this idea of like, so, kind of going back a little bit before TPL started, right? You have 3-5 that goes into Summit and they compete and they end up in the Valley Championship
Mhm.
against Rofs. And Rofs is not really up there in TPL. What division they
I
are?
think
Like Div
Div
5?
Div 5 competing in 40s.
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously that always could be a numbers thing, right? But there's clearly a huge difference in the talent levels of a Div 5 team versus a Div 1 team. And
Mhm.
if you watch that matchup, it was extremely competitive between the
Mhm.
two teams, which doesn't go to show like, like you got a team that's like just now, granted they won, but they're just eking it out against a Div
Mhm.
5 team. Is this a matter of like they're going into this with way too high hopes and they end up kind of losing morale because they decided to try to take an uptick in competition? Should they have played at a lower division? Do you think it was just inevitable? I mean, what's your thoughts on
Uh,
that?
well, since I'm kind of Oregon TPL, I kind of have some insight on this.
Yeah,
But so we as Orga did ask them if they were willing to compete in Division One because setting up the divisions is really hard to do. Like, I don't
sure.
care what anybody says. Like, everyone says they have the perfect divisions and stuff. It's extremely hard to do. Um, and so it's kind of like the borderline because like I will say this, like 3-5 HLE and 9PZ are on that borderline of the Div 1, the Div 2 teams, and it's kind of like who wants to take that, you know, that step into the gauntlet of Div 1.
Sure.
And it's we asked them and they said yeah, like, you know, we'll see what happens. And but I looking back on it, I guess, you know, maybe we could have done some readjusting, but like, you know, it is what it is at this point. It's just it's a hard thing to do from an
Yeah.
Orga standpoint, at least, just trying to manage the divs so they're all even. Because like at the end of the day, the goal for these divisions is for each game to be as competitive as possible, and so the games like at least go, you know, the full 90 as long as it can, whether that's, you know, 3-2, 4-1, or, you know, 5-0 with like 2 seconds left. That's
Yeah.
basically the goal of these divisions. And it's not to have, you know, 60-minute steamrolls, 30-minute steamrolls. Those will happen, but um
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and obviously all of this is hindsight 2020, right? Like, because you
Hmm.
look at Div 2 and like my thought is like, man, like if knowing that, and obviously you couldn't have known this, but knowing now that first ends up dropping out, right, which is a Div 2
Hmm.
team. And so you're like, man, like imagine a division where you have 9PZ, 8 Heli, Philo, 22nd, TFMC, and 3-5. I mean, how competitive of a division would that have been? And I
Hmm.
think like that would have been really cool to see. But it's obviously all hindsight 2020 because now you got to ask like, well, who's going to fit in Div 1 in this 6 team structure? And I mean, like, I don't think there's any team calling out its name to be in that Div 1 among Taco and Legion and Six and Exodus and Merc. So
Hmm.
it's just a tough thing. I mean, it goes to show like how tough matchmaking and creating these divisions are because when you get to like the bottom sides of divisions and top sides of divisions, that's always ends up being the thing that's most scrutinized. But at the same time, you're like, well, how would you have done it? How would you have
Hmm.
played it out? You may be right, you may be wrong, but like at the end of the day, like TPL has to bear that weight, unfortunately, of like
Yeah, and then
making the executive decisions.
yeah, just how you put it, like we have to make a decision too, because it's like, you know, if teams like at the very last second be like, hey, I want to actually do, you know, 35s instead of 49s, it's like, well, where do you fit in 35s now? It's like you have to reshuffle everybody out, and it's
Yeah.
it's a lot of work, especially with 57 teams that registered. Like,
Yeah.
just having the access in the TPL Discord to 600 channels is, I just get a headache. It's a lot, but
Yeah,
um,
no kidding.
yeah. But like, kind
Well,
of
let's
speaking off. just to
Go-
kind of touch up on the divs or on the teams that did drop out. Like
Mm,
it's kind of weird to see like there's like technically 4 teams that dropped out pretty much since now till like the beginning of TPL, and that's 11th, which is one of the I think the oldest OCE clan. They actually merged with Rofs. WRTB, I forget if they were Div 3 or 4 this season. I could be wrong on that. I don't know if there's a graphic for them or not, but they basically they disbanded, and they didn't compete. And then first, and now 3-5. So it's like 4 of the oldest teams like on console have now kind of like dissolved to a certain degree. And it's
yeah.
like it's a little sad to see. It's a little bittersweet.
I think it's a little sad to see, but like at the same time, you were kind of talking about beforehand, and I tried to stop you numerous times, but a way you couldn't. No, I'm just kidding. But like, but what's so interesting is like now you have like um the transfer market, right? Like, and so these players, for the most part, really aren't going away. They're just going to go to other teams and or
Mm-hmm.
maybe even create new teams. And like, and I think that's just part of the lore and the transition in Hello Lose Comp in general. You see this a lot more in the PC world, and I would honestly say too much, right? There's like too much turnover where like what gets tough is like I was talking on the podcast with Smithers. I don't know if you watched the last episode
Mm-hmm.
that we did, but he was talking about, and we were talking about how like, when like some of the professional sports, especially like the NFL, like they increased in popularity whenever, fantasy sports start coming out because you cheer for individual people, but like when the teams are constantly shifting of players, yeah, that's the
Dog
actual
cam.
sheepdog right there. Yeah, dog cam. What's up, Mumford? The problem is when you start shifting all these teams constantly, it's hard to like be like, I root for this team, I root for that team. It's all, but hopefully the players stay in and they end up playing for other teams, and people can end up cheering for those same players as they come out, right? And like, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and there's obviously like from the PC side, I can name players, and I'm sure on the console side, you can name players and you'd be like, bro, those are the OGs, man. Like those are the guys who like go in, week in, week out, are the ones who consistently make plays and have great moments in the game. And those guys hopefully aren't going away, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what makes this sport and this competition so interesting.
Yeah, like whenever I cast a game with 2 teams that I relatively know well, like I pick out the names and I just know like, oh, that's let's say Legion's best shooter, and then like I go to the other side, like, oh, that's Exo's best tanker, or oh, this game, they have Taco's best commanders now playing in their game. So like you do pick out you know the more popular players, I can guess, like more known in the community, but obviously there's some. I don't want to say anything with Dark Horse because Dark Horse was 3-5 and they dropped out.
Right.
But like, there's also like those Dark Horse players that like they'll make this incredible play that you catch on stream right in front of you too,
Yeah.
which is also kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
And then it gets clipped
Absolutely.
into a Smithers short, which is always good for that
Absolutely.
player.
Yeah. And Smithers, shout out to Smithers, the king of the Hell Let Loose shorts, especially in the comp scene.
I don't know how he
Gosh,
does
dude,
it.
I don't either. Well, dude, that dude's full time. That dude's
Every
freaking full time.
single every time I'm at work, I'll like look at my phone and I'm like, oh, Smithers posted 2 shorts today. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
and did
watch them
and
because
did
I'm at
three
work,
streams
but
before breakfast. Yes, and it did 3
Mhm.
streams before breakfast. Yeah, absolutely. I freaking that dude's a legend. I know we were talking about it on the last episode. I was like, bro, like I can't believe I'm casting more matches for TPL than you are. And he goes, oh, but I have 700 streams I'm doing this weekend. And I was like, son of a gun, dude. I was doing one more TPL match than he was, and he's doing 700 freaking streams, which is just absolutely wild. You mentioned, you know what? I'm gonna ask you this, because I don't know if you've done a power ranking on players. When you
I've been
are
asked.
you've been
I've
asked.
been
I'm
asked.
curious, just like off the top of your head, short list. Like when you're thinking about like best of the best players, or even like your favorite, more entertaining players. Like, what are the names that come to your mind?
Oh, it's tough because there's so many. like I kind of go off of moments, to be honest, because like
Yeah,
I like
I do too.
the players make the moments happen, but like anything can happen in the moment too. That's an incredible quote I just said. Um, it's it's hard because like I said, I just go off of moments. It's hard to say, but like I think like top three off of my head, Dirty Raz from HLE. I don't think he's playing at all. He says he's retired. I think that's BS. You don't retire from video games, even though I kind of did. I would say him. He's overall, I think, the best shooter on the game. Lambda, best overall tanker. He's French Canadian. He's actually stepped away for personal things, but even though those two players aren't playing this season, those are my top two without a doubt. And then just to throw someone else out there, I guess. I have no idea. There's so many. I would say Rig Dodge from sixth. He's a good player too. It's there's just so many players to choose from. It's really hard, and that's why I don't do it. Because if someone's name from a certain team's not on there, I'm gonna get a lot of comments in my stream about it, like I did in my first power ranking stream about don't sleep on our team, and I slept on them, and okay, but
that's just the name of the game, man. That's just the name of the game. And honestly, if you're watching this podcast, I would love in the comments for you to put down who do you think are some of the more underrated players in Hell Let Loose console. I'm gonna put it out as underrated, not even the best, just like maybe like a player that's like playing for a Div 5 through 9 team, right? That like maybe doesn't get noticed as much. Would love to hear your most underrated players from different teams. I'd be really curious to see what kind of names come up. But let's go ahead and transition a little bit, and I would like to transition into some of the TPL. Other than for obviously 3-5 dropping out is a big thing, but there's been some other things, especially over the last week or two that have been pretty big, and there was a couple of incidents that happened, and so I think the question that comes to my mind is before I start talking about the individual incidents is TPL, when it comes to rule infractions, are they being too soft with it? Is it a matter of interpretation of the rule? And to give some context in a way, correct me at any point in time, add detail, whatever you want. We have a couple of different incidents. One that like I was a part of, sort of, when I casted. So we have the MSU 3 LPZ stream, and I'll have it on my screen here too. I probably should, if I'm going to do that. There we go, perfect. So I don't have to listen to my own voice. But what was really interesting, okay, so we have this match where MSU is really dominating against 3LPZ, right? In it's a Div 4 matchup, okay? And literally, like, you could see MSU on the screen. They're literally pushing fifth point, like down their throats. And then all of a sudden, and I don't understand it at all, but the commander for MSU decides that he's going to throw a bombing run and a strafe over the top of the Artie position in mid HQ. So not only does he take out the Artie player and gets that 10 kill infraction, but he also takes out the nodes because the nodes were in the bombing run path. So the nodes are destroyed. So now,
obviously unintentional.
Unintentional, yes. I mean, boneheaded, I would 100% say boneheaded, right? Like, I mean, like, it's not even a matter of misclick, because a misclick typically implies like, if you drop a supply drop in the same place that you did before, right? You forget to click off, that kind of thing. This is more like just he put it in the thing, not thinking about the consequences of what would happen. And so now you have this issue where it's like, and I'm curious what your thoughts on, where it's like, according to the rules, like TPL has it where like if nodes are destroyed under any circumstance, it's a 5-0 for the team that nodes got destroyed. But that ends up not being the result. So I'm curious, I'm curious, like, not just your position as a TPL Orga, but even just your individual opinion on TPL and their reaction to this circumstance. And I'm curious, like, if you've kind of seen what the reaction is from both teams. Are they okay with it? Not okay with it?
So there actually is a little caveat in the node destroying rule. They have to place them away from vehicles
They
because
do.
we still allow, because I think it might be different on PC where you can't destroy vehicles in the spawn, like the actual spawn place, until they move. Maybe, I have no idea, but that's something that actually happened in the Summit final last season between LGN and Taco. LGN actually destroyed Taco's nodes because Taco placed the nodes too close to the spawn area of like the heavy tanks. So if that happens in a game, that's on the team that built the nodes. That's their fault. Obviously, in this case, we looked at the footage and it was obviously a clear violation of the rule. So yes, it would be a 5-0 loss. However, 3LPZ also broke a rule this match. They team switched.
Did they?
Yes.
Oh, they team switched.
They
Was
team
that at
switched,
the
and
beginning or like during the match or what?
I would have to go back into the ticket,
ticket,
and I don't feel like doing that because I'm
No,
done with
you're good.
fucking
You don't
Discord. But like that did happen. And then so like you look at both of those, it's like, well, they both broke the rules, so it's like, do we make them replay the match? I don't think anybody really wants to replay a match, especially if you lose 5-0. So we looked at it and we just said, hey, we're just gonna give you guys warnings. Just don't be stupid. Just don't do it again. Like, we'll just, it's a slap on the wrist type of situation. Like both of them were just boneheaded plays, in my opinion. I don't think both of them were intentional.
No.
So it was just warnings. The result still stays the same with MSU winning 5-0.
Yeah.
And that's kind of that. But we do look at each case of like rule infractions when they do come up on a case by case basis, because something does, like, if, like I said in the Taco situation, we can't say, oh, you destroyed nodes, that's automatic 5-0. It's like, well, you built nodes next to the spawn tanks. So it's still all case by case basis, and it also depends on severity and how malicious it was, because maybe we go to a 4-1, just whatever. But that's kind of like at least my take on it.
Yeah, I think like obviously like this, if MSU had gotten 0-5 in this first matchup, this would have been really bad for MSU, right? Like, I think that if you look at this division, they're the clear-cut favorites going into this.
It's between them, OCL, and Roths that are the favorites. But like an 0-5 loss, like, really does set them back between OCL and Roths.
Yeah, for Division 4, and so
Division 5.
Really, is it Division 5?
4?
Oh, sorry.
No, never mind. I'm looking at Division 5. I'm sorry. It's between them and TRR and KRC, I think.
There you go. Yeah,
but I think overall they are the favorite. I forget what my power rankings was.
Yeah. I know that like when in the Insiders podcast they were talking about that, like someone like KRRC or TRR are kind of the yeah, you good, bro. They're the kind of the dark horses. I got the Amish beard going on. My family's been calling me out and saying that I look more international than anything else. Are you serious? Are we going full screen? Son of a! I'm gonna murder Axon for this. You bad. Oh no, dude!
No, just zoom in.
It's all good. Yeah, zoom in on the beard. Yeah, I got the as they would probably, this is gonna be so out of so color when I say this, but the jihadi beard going on is what they described, dude. But oh my gosh, dude. I'm not dating anyone right now, so I ain't gotta worry about that, dude. I'm a farmer, so like I mean, like, who am I trying to impress, dude? I ain't trying to impress no one, bro. But my coworkers are farmers and pigs. That's who they are, dude. And cows. That's my coworkers, dude. Jeez, bro. Anyway, let's talk about another one. Okay, let's talk about another one. And obviously, this is also another case of teams that both broke rules, and that it's in a more high-profile match, which is this Taco match in 3-5. And obviously, it has less of an impact now that 3-5 is out, right? But
Mhm.
even still, it brings up this really interesting thing that I've never experienced before, which is I say that I've experienced it one time in the PC world, but it's the this incident of like not unlicensed, but
It's like a
basically
rogue streamer,
rogue
basically.
streamer, yeah,
Mhm.
which is really interesting. And I'm gonna stop the stream because I don't have the taco who casted that one, huh? It was Taco versus 3-5. Who casted that one? I'm curious. Let me see if I can find the poster real quick. um
Oh, I have no idea.
I'll
Let
have
me
to
go to
go
the
to
thread.
I'll have to pull up the oh no, that's the wrong one. I'll have to pull up the playlist, huh? The playlist that Axhawk, the TPL
I think it was
playlist.
Sassy Anna. Sassy
Sassy
Anna.
Anna.
Yeah.
Is it Sassy Anna or Sassy Anna? There it is. Here you go. Oh, it's on
Anna.
her
Sassy
Twitch.
Anna
Did she post the VOD? The question is,
and
did she post the VOD?
Caparzo.
Oh,
Caparzo
and
did too.
Caparzo did it too.
Yeah.
We can't promote Caparzo. He's too nice. We can't promote him, dude. Here it is.
And
Here's
he's
her.
Italian.
Is he actually Italian, or is he just one
I,
of those guys who's like of Italian origin? Like, you know
I
what I
don't
mean?
know. I
Like,
just know
where
he
it's
lives
like
in New York and he like I don't know. I don't
he
know. I think
lives
he's
in New
Italian.
York, bro. He lived in yeah. I live in Texas. That I mean, I don't know what that means. I mean, like, I guess I'm Texan. I don't know. Um, oh man, but let's talk about it because like
Mm-hmm.
this is a really interesting thing because like and as a guy who uh who's been in casting for a long time, the big no no is no delay, right? Because like out of
Mm-hmm.
all the things that I can think of in terms of maintaining the integrity of these games, you casting with no delay where someone has access to it and can refer to it, I mean, is the easiest, in my opinion, the easiest way of giving an advantage to someone. I mean, like being able to see what Gary's are at in live time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a big one. I don't think that people always recognize that, like, but this is a big one, and it happens more often than people think, where people post they stream their vods or whatever with no delay, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
big deal, right? But 3-5 also breaks rules too, and now we have this whole thing where it's like now we're having these multiple things of it's like watching a NFL football match where they're like, this team was offsides and this team had pass interference. Penalties are penalties offset. I mean, do you think that these penalties deserve offsetting? I mean, that's kind of my question. Is
They're
I mean,
actually both infracted on Taco.
they were both infracted on Taco. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So both of the rules were, I think it was the messing with the arty guns, in the muster. Which, if
Mm-hmm.
you do that, it is, and like you're not the designated arty player, it just messes up the guns for the other team. So like
Yeah.
when they designated arty players get on the guns, the bot comes in while they're driving the trucks, and like if your truck drivers or tank drivers die, that's a big issue. It happened last season, actually, with 3-5 and WRTB, where 3-5 did that, and they had to replay the match anyways, like a week later.
Mm,
But and then obviously like the streaming rule too was the other infraction.
sure.
I totally forgot what else you said, to be honest.
Yes, rule breaking. It's an interesting thing because it's like because I was talking about offsets, but it's not really offsets in this circumstance, and so but they're out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of one of these things, and like um in my personal opinion, I don't know about you, like I've run tournaments before, and I think like at the end of the day, like if I were creating a rule set, I would add a spirit of the rule clause in any tournament that I run. And the
Mm-hmm.
context for that is like this idea of like, well, there's two things. One, um, if they're really not trying to break the rules, right, or their rule breaking really doesn't impact the match, then I think that Orga should have the right to be able to say like, hey, we're going to decide to impose this punishment for this or no punishment for this. just because of the spirit of the rule clause, right? Like, we had an incident in a tournament where I used to run a skirmish tournament, which was absolute hell, right? Like, imagine a skirmish mode tournament, right? And we
Greyhounds
had a
Cup.
rule. No, we were pre Greyhound Scout, dude. It's called Hell Let Loose Rumble Invitational,
Oh, I
and
heard of that. Yeah.
yeah, and we had a rule where you couldn't truck snipe with tanks off the rip for like the first, I think, 3 minutes or something like that. And the idea is like we don't want teams to get truck sniped off the rip and then have to they get boxed out immediately, because that's
Mm-hmm.
what ends up happening. We want people to get to the point. We want people to fight over the point at the initial get go because it's so cool. It's so entertaining, and we had an incident where one of the teams decided that they were going to use it as their meta, and they drove since they knew that they're. Are you kidding me that you have rule changes? That's insane that you have that off the rip. Axog is a legend, a legend, dude. Yeah, you can see that ban on tank snipes. But the issue was they drove a truck. They drove the truck way past the midpoint, literally to the enemy area, the enemy sector, and then they took out the truck, but it was still within that time frame. So it's kind of like, bro, the other team is
You're just
like
bending the rules, but
they're
like
bending the
basically.
rules, and then this team gets punished for breaking the rules. But it's not. But the spirit of the rule is to preserve midpoints, not to punish teams for just killing trucks. That's not.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the spirit of the rule. And so I think that's the thought. And I have the same thing with rules when it comes to like TPL, for example. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but
I don't know. it's I don't know. It's like you said, it's kind of like in the spirit of the rules thing. Like for just speaking on the taco instance with the player that was streaming. First of all, it was a streamed POV, and like we kind of just put that in there for one, so like there's no rogue casters in. Like if it for some reason,
yeah,
because like we have like TPL has 10 dedicated servers that Qonzer provided for us. But like there's always going to be situations where it's impossible to use a Qonzer server because like if there's like 7 games scheduled at
oh
the
right,
3 o'clock time window, unless you're willing to play on a Japan server at 3 p.m. between an EU team and an NA team, which no one's ever going to do, you're going to have to like borrow a server. But like in doing that, it prevents one of the sides to not have some sort of rogue streamer.
right.
But obviously they streamed their POV without delay. It wasn't intentional. I think it was just for their own VOD review type of thing. And then obviously like the
Did
arty,
they stream it live, like no
yes,
delay?
no delay at all.
Oh gosh.
But it was also the taco team that just won 5-0, so it's like 3-5 definitely
Right.
had no advantage of it. But I actually found the stream myself during the taco game, and when I clicked on it, taco was capping 5th with like 20% left. So I'm like, oh, I know how the rest of this game goes. And like
Yeah.
Taco's like starting the cap like 4th point at that point, or like I don't know what was going on, but
Yeah.
and then obviously like the arty rule as well plays into that. So I guess we did give them a 3-2 win because of those rule violations. We actually backtracked that up because we also made the trying to figure out the word. We just I think rushed our decision too much as well because like league officials also deal with that as far as like implementing and dishing out rule breaks. We just I think rushed our decision and then backed it up to a 4-1 win for Taco, and just warning for the player, just hey, just don't be stupid. Just if you're gonna stream your game to Twitch, just go to just chatting on an alt account.
Just chatting. Yeah. It's it's
That's how we used to actually cast
it's an
games back in the
IRL
day.
cast, dude. It's an IRL cast, dude.
That's what we. That's how we used to cast games in TPL. Was that actually with player
Why?
POVs? Because so no one stream snipes. So we actually. I guess this goes
Oh,
into one of your segments. Is we actually we would make 4 burner Twitch accounts and send them to two players on each team. one infantry and one hopefully tank gunner POV or tank commander POV, and then get them all set up. They're going to stream with no delay, obviously, because they don't know how to set a delay. And then they go to Just Chatting on Twitch and stream on like Bobby Till's 1935 is streaming on Just Chatting, but it's hella loose gameplay. And then we take all those VODs into one stream, and then we stream it from one person's laptop or MacBook, and then that's how we casted games back in the old days of console.
And this was pre-admin camp, right?
Pre-admin camp, pre-server browser.
Yeah. Gosh, what a disgusting time.
It was awful. It was bad.
And what's funny is like I feel like coming into console, like I remember when it was announced, and I knew that this was an issue, right? Because like I remember doing a podcast with shout out to Wix and CD, who are two legends, and they were talking to me one time because they competed or casted console matches, long before I got into console, and they were talking about like this whole like we gotta all jump in and then kick people and like
God,
like
fucking
I'm not trying to give you to trigger you or anything, but like
dude, there's we've been joking of doing that again because it was also like random maps, random midpoints, everything was random. The only rules that we had were no Remagen because no one wants to play Remagen when it's the opposite side of the river, because then that team's probably going to get screwed and lose.
Sure.
And then no Stalingrad. And the reason that we had no Stalingrad is because Xbox players had a crashing issue where if you were in the Stalingrad match for more than like 10 minutes, there's like a 95% chance you will crash in that game. Like you would always crash on Stalingrad if you're an Xbox user. It was terrible. I'd made a whole crashing video about it it's on my channel. It's like my most viewed video. It's insane.
Your most viewed video is on Xbox players crashing on Stalingrad, bro.
Yeah,
I actually, how ironic with this new update too.
Oh my god, it was and like it was like you would actually have to burn.
Case, is it?
To some degree, it is. It's better now. We'll see when the new update comes out. But I heard the new update on Stalingrad is meh from the test server. From what I heard.
Yeah.
We would also have to burn through maps too.
ESPT and some other teams ran a PTE event, and they absolutely hated it on Stalingrad. Absolutely hated it. Now, granted, it was PTE, right? And like, so they had time to fix it, but they were saying it was so buggy, dude. So we'll see what they do. I wish I had a stream of that. I can't remember who casted it. It may have, who knows? It may have been KO.
50% chance it was Smithers.
I know, but then there's the off chance that it's someone that you don't know. It's somebody you don't know, dude. I know, dude. It's so funny because like casting history. So like I want to give a shout out because like I think this weekend to me it's going to be history made because Guderian is going to be casting console for the first time, and this is I think this is a storyline to talk about. Like the fact that Guderian is going to be streaming. Now, granted, he's cheating because he gets to have an awesome producer in Axha. Screw you guys! Like, where's my freaking producer? Huh? I ain't getting no producer. Guderian gets to waltz on it. Guderian gets to waltz on in here with no capture card. I hope he's watching this. I hope he gets a clip of this so he can hear this. Like, no capture card. He doesn't even have, like, what?
Doesn't have a PlayStation or Xbox.
Are you controlling the camera for him too? So it's literally just him talking over the match. Oh my gosh, dude! Like that. Where's my camera operator, dude? Imagine how awesome it would be if you had a camera operator, huh?
Like, I kind of like operating my camera myself. To be honest, you get more control.
You sort of do, but then but camera work is hard. like camera work is not easy. Like if I had someone who was really good at camera work, like better than I am, I'd be like, heck yeah, take it. I'll commentate over your camera work. Heck yeah.
The best
So
part is
I
if
mean,
you get a controller with stick drift, you get better scenic like turning of the
this
camera.
is true.
Oh,
This is true.
dude, I actually
This
use
is
that
true.
for my intros for like summons and stuff. Like
It's
when
a
I'm
bad
panning over,
controller.
yeah,
Yeah.
just have like it just slowly turns and then it's like, oh, it's just better. But then I love it. I love one of my shitty
Scoogatarian, dude.
controllers.
I love that dude. That dude's a legend. Like, I hope he knows that, like, I'm saying this all out of love because that dude, first off, that dude's helped many people in the casting world.
Hmm.
To some of the best overlays, right? Like some of the best. I mean, he's got amazing camera movement. He's got a good voice. He's got great insides, great pacing. All of this. I mean, like he is going to be like he's going to jump into this and when if people don't know who Gadarian is, they're gonna watch the stream and be like, "Who the heck is this dude?" Like he's great. Um,
I think
I'm
the
just
one I think the one thing for me is, does he know? I forget what game he is casting. That we haven't announced that yet, but he is casting. I
it's
think Legion and
well,
Merc. I think he's casting.
is he
So
casting Legion Merc? Okay.
I think he is. I think me and Caparzo gave that to him. So it's gonna be interesting to see if he knows any Legion players, if he knows any Merc players, or has seen those casts before. Probably not, but maybe he picks up a new favorite player's name. Hopefully, everyone has PG names in the game because I know players like to change their names to like I don't know, like Merc sucks or something.
Yeah,
But
I think as a yeah, gosh, dude, the names get me, dude. Like, there's half the times, like if you watch my streams, you'll see that like half the times I don't pronounce the full name or I won't pronounce the name at all because I'm not saying your name. I'm sorry.
dude,
Like
any
if you have
Portuguese team name, oh my god.
oh, I was talking about inappropriate names was what I was
Oh,
talking about. Not even like if you have like I mean any type of like sexual innuendo, I'm not saying your name. I'm sorry. And Smithers will. I don't know how he does it. I was talking to him about it. Like, how does he do it where he's he's
he probably
I'm
just turns
watching
off
the
his
stream.
brain.
Dude, I don't know, dude. He'll be like, he's got that like smooth voice, and he'll be like, um, looking at McCumfierson, getting a satchel in the tank. Look at McCumfierson. Oh, like it's just like, how does he do it, dude? Like I don't know how he does it. Dude, it just resets my brain. I can't do it, dude. I, I, I can't do it. I don't know. It's a guy who like, oh man, don't you think though, like for him, like it's kind of exciting when it's new people and new
Hmm.
teams, and it's just like, I mean, well, I'll ask you this as someone who's been in console and casting for a while. Does any of this get old for you? Like the teams, or like you kind of you see a lot of these teams have been around for a long time, and does any of it get old for you?
To a certain degree, it does. I mean, you kind of see it also, I guess, also on the PC side if you watch and cast like the higher end PC games, because like for like Division 1, you generally know it's going to end into a 2-3 game, and like it's kind of boring as hell. Like it can get boring. But like when you go to the lower divisions, it's chaotic as hell. Like you see the most aggressive, very questionable plays. Like when I casted that OnlyFins versus 263 game, I think
Oh, great one. Love that one.
every single tank died in the same wheat field. Like it was insane. Like I think I counted like I want to say at least 10 tanks died in the same like 100-meter area. Like it was stupid insane. But like,
Yeah.
just something like that is more entertaining than watching, tanks fight on hedges, but they take a shot, back up, then they re-engage and then do the same thing, and then like players don't move, or maybe this little thing does happen to catch them off guard, but then that gets shut down. Like you kind of do expect that. That's why I do like casting like the lower division games. Like even like the 40s games, I think are very interesting too.
Sure.
I don't know. It just kind of depends. Like I don't know. It's hard to say really, because sometimes like teams can surprise you, like with like their openers and stuff. But I feel like we're also at the point on console where it's starting to get towards that stale PC meta type of area.
Nah, dude, tank sipping's still a thing, dude. Tank sipping's still a thing.
At the lower divisions, it is.
Yeah.
To a certain degree, it is on the higher division side, but there is a new league coming up. I don't know if you heard of Road to Glory at all.
Yes, the tanking one. The
I have no idea
tournament.
why they need to change that name, to be completely honest with you. But there's talks of them banning flares in that league, so there's no
For
flare
tanking?
spam.
I thought it was a tanking league.
No, that's DMT.
Oh, that's DMT. Okay, Road to Glory. No.
No.
This is Road to Glory. I guess this.
It's a new league.
Oh, this is something Guderian has gone off on. I mean, what's your? Listen. I get it. Shooting up flares, like dying and then shooting up a flare again and dying and shooting up a flare again. I get it. It bores some people. It's part of the game. Like, just get over it. Like, that's just what teams are willing to do. And this push is wild. This 76 pushing this Tiger is absolutely insane, dude. And I literally showed this to Smithers in the last episode.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
This is something you don't see. This is something you don't see in PC meta. Like, I think that like tanks are just way more aggressive. And I know that part of it is the technology, right? Like the graphics and all that, which to me, I'm like, I prefer that because at least teams play closer and you get a little bit
There's
more
less pixel shooting.
Yes.
Or
there's less freaking 800 to 1,000 meter hedgerow shots. Like, just I mean,
people also miss their shots on console compared to PC. If you miss 2 shots, you're a bad player.
Yeah.
No offense to people who do that on PC right now still, but on console, I can see a whole guy miss his mag on a stream and then him just run away. It's funny, but
yes. But Guderian's on this whole flare thing, ban flare meta, and I'm just like, come on, dude. Like, it's just let it go. Just let it go, Guderian. Let it go. Just like, I don't know why he gets such in a tizzy. I gotta pull this up too. I'm pulling it up while we're sharing the other match. I'll find it, dude. Like, I watched. Oh no, I forgot. This was actually a PC match, but I gotta pull it up because it just cracked me up, dude. I was casting a match on Kharkov, which, by the way, I'm probably gonna ask every single guest that comes on this podcast thoughts on meta versus non-meta maps. Like, I'm like, for all the things that upsets Guderian about like the metas, I get upset about maps because I am so sick and tired of casting Karantan, SME, SMDM, like
Omaha, Utah.
Yeah. I'm like, give me Kharkov, give me Elsenborn. I played on Tobruk today and I almost wet my pants, dude. I was so excited. Like, I was like, give me something. Now, and I played it and it wasn't as good as I thought it was. But even still, as a caster, I'm kind of like, bro, give me all this, bro. Like, yes, yes, Axhawk, I do want teams to play different maps. Yes.
I think it comes down to that. I think it comes down to, do the teams want to play those maps? And I think more often than not, they don't. Just because they're, like, I would say less familiar with the maps. Like Elsenborn Ridge, I think that map is terrible. I think it's the worst map they've ever made. But it's a map. I would love to cast it. I don't want to play it. That's just my take on it. That's my opinion.
Oh, listen, dude. Like, I'm about to switch screens. Listen, I agree with that, dude. I agree with that. Like, do I want to play Elsenborn? Here's a big one. Do I want to play Alamein? Heck no, I don't want to play Alamein. Are you kidding me, dude? I don't want to play Alamein. Do I want to cast Alamein? 1,000% I want to cast Alamein, dude. I want to see it. So this is PF versus Oceanic Ocelots. Shout out to Pathfinders and Ocelots playing on Kharkov. So, like, you can see this PF tank, this IS-1 peeking, playing the way that you probably should normally play, right? Like, playing corners and playing smart. And then this this tiger, which, by the way, there's another tiger back there too that it just left because they were convoying out in the middle of the open. Decides, you know what? I'm gonna make this run. And like, just like couldn't get
Aggressive
the
plays.
satchel on, couldn't get the satchel on, goes down. Like make it a ridiculous push, dude. Like 18 guy goes, like
Gets blown up.
it's blown up, dude. And then somehow Tiger gets first shot. As one misses up close. And then don't see this a lot on PC, by the way. That's why I get so excited about stuff like this, dude. You're just like, misses a shot again, deflects,
Ricochets. Oh my
ricochets,
god. Pub lobby
and then,
stuff right here.
dude. Like tip to tip, like get the whole hit. Tiger barrel is over the top, so they can't hit. IS-1 survives somehow survives that push, dude. Like, I mean, it's just insane, dude. It's just insane. Like, but that to me is like what gets me excited. Like, and I think console provides stuff like that a lot more because it's just like part of the technology of it and everything. But also, like, I mean, we're in a time in console where like people get to try stuff, dude. Like all these, I mean, like, dude, I mean, how many rocket shots landed in the opener between Legion and Taco in that Summit final?
I think a total of, I'm trying to remember, 3 taco trucks got sniped and 2 or 3, I think 6 trucks got sniped that game. Like,
Yeah,
every single
it's
truck
insane.
except for the far flanking ones got sniped.
It's
maybe
insane,
one
dude.
of Legion's didn't, but speaking of off-meta maps, I am 100% down for teams to play off-meta maps. Like, go play them, please. I just don't want to play them myself, personally.
I
except for some. Like, Kharkov, I think, is kind of the exception. I actually casted Kursk Day in 30s.
That's a crazy one. That's a crazy one.
That is the most crazy game. Like 30s on Kursk. Like if you're spread out, like it's, I don't want to say it's boring, but like, dude, there was not a lot going on except for the opener, because 48th brought out 4 tanks for their opener in 30s, and I'm like, dude, that's like half your team is in tanks.
Yeah,
for your opener. I've never seen that even in 49s. Like that's like insane. But like off meta maps, I love when teams play them. I think we have some Driel games. Oh no, we don't have Driel this weekend because 3-5 dropped out. Yeah, 3-5 and X are supposed to play on Driel, Railway Bridge.
Oh, sad face, dude. I think there's another Driel match, isn't there, for TPL? I think there's another Driel match that's supposed to be happening. I'll look at it real quick. Let's see if I find it real quick. Yes, let's talk about him. Let's talk about him. Let's talk about because I asked you specifically. I was like, what matches get you excited for this week? And you mentioned first off an all Brazilian matchup, if I remember correctly, SAP versus OCL, which I think that this is. I've actually gotten the chance to cast OCL, and I've always been really impressed with them. They did extremely well in the off-season competitive league, and then they're going against the Chicken Squad, Rooster Squad. I don't know, whatever you call it, Santa Apua. I mean, what when you think of OCL and SAP, I mean, what are your first thoughts on it?
I think whoever streams this, their chat is going to be active as hell. I will say that right now, because Smithers casted SAP and RZN last season. I think he had like 120 live viewers, which is random because I think it was like a Division 5 game last season that SAP and RZN were in. And you don't know what they're saying in Portuguese at all in the live chat. But like the emojis, like there's like a baby crying face with a baby bottle. Like it is the funniest chat that I have ever seen for live chat. So just for that entertainment, please watch this match, because the Brazilians will show up, and I think we do have
Oh,
a Portuguese caster will be casting it.
Madeira was talking about doing it, so
I think
I
it was
hope he
Madiro
does.
and Wicco might, or Madiro
Uh,
and Smithers might.
Wicho was planning to do it, and Smithers is slated for that one on
Yeah,
Drill
so
Railway Bridge.
yeah, so it's going to be a good game. I think I do see OCL coming on top, to be honest, in this because I think they're slightly better. But because this is also 40s too, so it's a little bit different
Yes.
from the 49s. And I watched SAP against Rofs, and I think Rofs is favored in this division to win. But SAP up for 50 minutes in that game against Rofs, so they're a team that's not to be taken lightly at all. Like it's
Yeah.
going to be a good game.
Yep.
Brazilians also play ratty as hell too. I will say that.
What?
They are. Oh, dude, they're so annoying when you play against a Brazilian team. I played against the Brazilian national team for the World Cup 22nd did, and the amount of people laying in bushes with STGs was making me crash out. Like my VOD is a lot of swears. Like if I would monetize it, I would get demonetized so quickly.
Oh man, let's talk about another one. We got a Div 1 matchup, Taco versus Six. Two teams that well known Hello's community. Two teams that have I mean there's a lot on the line for this one, considering Div 1 and do you think that I think Taco would typically be considered the favorite in this. Do you think that Six has a chance on this is going to be on Hurt and Forest on Siegfried line? Really interesting map choice for this one. And who is which side? Because I think that it's got to play part of it, right? Who which side is which? Let me look at it real quick. It's going
Taco
to
is
be
allies. Taco's allies. So this is actually
Axis kind of have the favor a little bit, right? Like, and I know a lot of people could consider the allies the favorites on Hurricane in general because of tank positions. But that hill on Siegfried, like you're being able to get into the point, your entranceway as the allies is really tough into Siegfried line, especially if you don't cap initially.
Yeah, this is actually a rematch of the Summit semifinal between these two teams on this exact map, on this exact point. Just the factions are flipped. Six was actually winning the majority of that game until like the last 15 or so minutes, and it was one of the best, I think, Hurtgen games I think ever played, like between PC and console, like ever. And I think it's going to be a nail biter of a game. I think whoever wins this is going to be one of the top 2 seeds. To be completely honest with you, so it's a game not to miss, but it's also a game at like 4 a.m. for me, so I will be sleeping. Yeah, 3:45 is match start. Yeah, that's not going to happen. That's 3:45 a.m., dude.
Well, I'll watch the
I have done one of those.
I'm excited for it.
I have done one of those early morning casts, and like, dude,
it's brutal.
You have to chug an energy drink beforehand, but you still sound dead.
Well, and that's going to be done by, again, Smithers. And then Casanova, the Russian streamer, is going to be casting that as well. So,
he
good luck
clicked love to cast on that. So he really wanted to cast this match.
Oh, Casanova or Smithers did?
Smithers did. He's like, I really want to cast this match, like badly. Like, give it to me now.
He's a
3 a.m.
That tells you when you're an addict, dude. I mean, like that dude, like, gosh, bro. Gosh. Okay, let's go into the last.
These Div 1 matches are his needle, dude.
Dude, bro, for real, dude. Jeez, bro. Oh gosh. His bong hit, bro. 101A versus Qonzer. We got an American team who performed really well in last week's matchup that I actually casted. And they played against I'm trying to remember who they played up against. SAS. They played up against SAS on Utah. And they 5-0'd them. And then Qonzer, which is a long-standing Australian team. Both teams right now tied at first and second in their divisions. They will be playing on I'm looking at it right now. Where's that? Yeah, it's going to be on AA network on SMDM, which is a pretty balanced midpoint considering. What's your thoughts on this matchup?
I think this is a potential of a finals matchup for D3. It's between, I think, these two teams and R22R. I think this is a really balanced division for the most part, I think, because L90 against R22R was a good game last week. Like, they could obviously sneak into that final spot, but I think it's like a 3-horse race, especially with these two teams. I want to lean towards ANZR in this one. But I'm kind of excited to see 101A play. I think this is kind of a prove it kind of game for them to see where they kind of stand in this division. Because I personally haven't seen 101A play in a very long time since last TPL. So I'm really excited for this game, and that's kind of why, especially AA Network as well.
Yeah, very
Um,
balanced. Very balanced. Which
it's
side has width? I'm curious. 101A versus
101A is allies.
Yeah. I mean, I would, just off the rip, I typically give it to the Axis on double A, but it's not as off balance as something like Dugout, right? Where it's just like, I mean, like Axis 90% of the time is probably going to win that, especially if they're two really balanced teams. And I think this is a division that, we have a very competitive division in Div 2, and in Div 3 is a division where we could see one of these teams kind of rise into like that higher level echelon when this is all set and done. And so I think these teams kind of have a lot to prove in terms of where they stand, because they're kind of in the middle of everything, right? Where they're running 49s, so they're kind of the bottom of the 49s area, but they're, I mean, all said and done, it's just kind of like the Premier League where in English football, where it's like a team in championship very well may be able to, at this point in time, beats lower level Premier League teams. That's just kind of typically how it works. And so it's really interesting, especially given how active the transfer portal has been, not just preseason, but even during the season now. Imagine when TPL is all said and done, in 3 months, how active free agency is going to be.
Oh my god. Do you want to know kind of what the player count is that we have registered?
Well, yes, absolutely.
We have, I think, over 30, or no, not 37, 5,700 registered players between all the teams in TPL this season. More than that. I think it's more than that. I know the last time we checked was 5,660, and that was before week 1 started. And then obviously teams pick up free agents, which are new additions, not counting you go from one team to another. It's legit, like, that's how many people we have in this league that are registered. Now, obviously, are all of them going to play? Probably not, because, teams will have, their rosters, up to 150 players is, I think, the cap, which is
That's a large freaking roster, dude.
All right, dude, it's insane. I don't know why, but teams have 90 players, 110 on their roster, and obviously you play for fun, so you're not available for every single weekend. It's kind of like you're on IR this weekend if you're on vacation. As if you're speaking towards like NFL football, it's Awake's on IR this weekend against 9PZ because he has a wedding to attend. So this guy in the practice squad is going to have to step up big to fill his role. Can he do it?
Sure.
Is the first take talking point of Monday morning or whatever. I don't know. I'm just making some sports analogies.
On the first day on TPL First Take, which is a
TPL
separate
First
Take
Take.
that will be coming out. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be so funny, dude. Freaking. But we talked. By the way, we may be doing that. But we'll show that at a different time. Talk about that at a different time. But anyway, yeah. So obviously, just to recap and refresh, but we're going into week 2, leg 2, which is the 49s, the upper divisions for TPL. Lots of good matchups to be looking out for. They start on Saturday. I don't think we have any Friday matchups, so they start on Saturday. We have an LL main match that Smithers, because why not? Smithers and Casanova are going to be casting. That'll be Heli and Philo. So I'm excited to see. I think DRT is such a really interesting point. Prior to the previous LL main refresh, it was a very British favorite point. Now it's a little bit more balanced, but even still, I still think the favor leans toward the Brits. And I can't remember the last time I've watched teams play on DRT for LL main. I know in the PC world, ESPT for a while played like 3 or 4 matches in one
Mm-hmm.
APL season on LL main, and specifically had some DRT matches, and they were extremely competitive matches. So some of the best matches I've ever streamed. By the way, Guderian was one of the guys who was streaming those matches, which is wild. So I'm DRT is going to be really interesting. Yeah, this is DRT on the screen
Mm-hmm.
right here.
It's
And
an interesting point for sure. I think the only midpoint that console has yet to play on that I've seen.
really,
Yes, I know. Because
even
Taco
Oasis,
and
they played Oasis on
yeah,
Element too.
Taco and Legion week 1 of season 1 played on Oasis last season, and then they played it in Summit on Valley, and now we get to watch HLE and Philo play
Yeah.
DRT here. So
I'm excited to watch that one as well. Lots of SMDM matches this week. Night Falcon, Brown, and Caparzo are going to be streaming, including that 101A versus Answer match, which was one of the matchups that you pointed out.
mhm.
I'm really curious to see 9PZ versus 22nd. That's going to be on Chapel. Chapel is always a really interesting one, considering the fact that like it has the potential, even with a team that's not as good, to somehow come out as the winner on Chapel, just given how hard it is for the Axis to go and take Chapel. So it's a really interesting one.
It's one of my favorite
And
points to fight over too, and like
yeah,
all of Hella Loose. I would say
yeah,
it's like really fun, especially in that South and that between like what is it, Win 4 is in the South or Win 7? I think it's Win 7. Win 7
win
in the South.
sevens in the south, win fours in the
Yeah,
north. Yeah,
between there and Chapel, some of the most fun fighting like you can have like between houses and hedges. In my
yeah,
personal experience.
yeah. Absolutely. Shout out to Axhawk. He will be casting the Merc versus Legion match on Hurtgen Forest, which is I think that's going to be a really interesting one too. I mean, obviously Legion probably considered the favorites, but I mean the fact that we have 2 Hurtgen matches, especially in Div 1,
Mm-hmm.
is almost evil. It's insane. I
It's
don't know
something
if
different
there's
at least for those top teams.
very and yeah, Axhawk, you gonna, is that the one Guderian's gonna be on for that one?
Mm-hmm. He better be there.
Yeah. Skin Shady will be on that too as well. So shout out to
Yeah.
Skin Shady as well. Yeah, those are the big ones. We got people like Madeira, Sassy Anna, Eng Shinjima, Hot Dog 7. Am I Lads Let Loose? Am I missing anyone else? I mentioned Captain Wicho
Me.
earlier for that 3-0. Oh, Wake is casting too. Yes, don't get me wrong. And he's going to be doing the 1SBS versus R22R. I would think that based on what I saw from 1SBS, R22R would probably be the favorite on that one. I don't know what your thoughts are. If you want to make a prediction ahead of time, West Vierville is
I hate that point.
I hate that point too. Yeah, it's gosh, dude. Don't put me on Inf 1 on the north side, dude, because it's just an absolute nightmare.
R22R's Axis. Yeah, I would probably give it to R22R.
I would too.
I want to say
Here's
3-2 because it's art for Axis to cap 4th. It takes a lot to cap 4th on Omaha on any 4th point. I would say it's almost
But if
like
you
you're
cap
playing
4th,
Foy.
5th is gone. Like, I think,
Yeah,
I mean, if you get
that's the
subjugated
trick.
to the beaches, yeah.
Yeah, like, but it's hard to cap that 4th just because it is so far away. Like, there's so much open ground in between both hard caps. But that's
Yeah.
why I hate Omaha's allies. Like, I feel for 1SBS. We in 22nd played them last in Summit. on Omaha, but it was
Yeah.
whatever the southern point's called. I'm forgetting. It's either Arder. It's
On
either
Omaha? It's
yeah.
that it's the bunker,
Is it
on the
artillery
south side.
battery or dugout? It's one of
Arty
those two names.
Arty Battery, I believe is what it is. I'm gonna get roasted in the chat. But I think it's Arty Battery. This was
I don't remember.
Arty Battery, by the way, was the point that ESPT and Greyhounds played on for their final for HCA that Greyhounds won. So Greyhounds ended up winning a major title for the first time in quite a while. ESPT finally getting dethroned on that point specifically. After ESPT capped initially, if I remember correctly, which is wild.
Wow.
So I mean, Omaha is a map that oftentimes can lead to pretty interesting upsets. So really interesting, but yeah, man, it's lots going on in console, lots of things to talk about. We're not able to get to everything, so if you were watching this and you thought that we missed a topic, would love to hear what topic you think we missed that we brought up. Interesting headlines in TPL. Bring it up. We could always bring it up in the next podcast. We may have something special planned for the next episode. I'm really excited. Really excited.
Gadarian?
No, I'll tell you after.
Okay.
I'll tell you after. Okay.
I get first dibs.
1,000% you get first dibs. Yeah. Yeah. All you guys can wait. All you guys who are watching this can wait. But be patient because hopefully it's worth it. But I'm Sheepdog Awake. Thank you so much for joining me, man. I mean, it's a pleasure to talk to you, man. You have incredible insights. You have even better, more rage baiting power rankings, and I'm excited for the next one that you come out with.
Oh, I'm gonna get cooked. I don't know why we use the @everyone pin for the power rankings. I get week 1, but week 2 was unnecessary. Even though I made like $30 in donations that stream. I don't know why.
It's more donations than I've ever made in my entire casting career.
Just cast any Legion stream and they'll donate to you.
I don't have donations set up.
Oh yeah.
I've never set them up.
Get that ad revenue coming up, baby.
Maybe I just need to put a donation link. I don't know, dude. I just never set up monetization for YouTube. Yeah, bro, for real, dude. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Alms for the poor. Alms for the poor. But thank you so much for joining us. This is the TPL podcast, and we're if you watched, be sure to and you like the content, be sure to give us a like and a follow on the podcast. I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to our amazing producer, Axoc, for putting all this together. I mean, gosh, if you didn't watch, I get to watch it while I'm doing this podcast. This overlay and all the graphics are unbelievable. Even the close up on my face, however unnecessary, was cool. So shout out to Axoc. Axoc is a guy who does so many things behind the scenes for TPL that people probably don't even realize, but he is the reason why TPL looks as professional as it does. So please make sure that you give a shout out to Axoc, and we will bid you adieu.
No mercy, no second chances. This is hell let loose, where players become legends, and every round is a war zone. Steel, strategy, survival. The grind don't stop and the fire don't fade. Step up.